We are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. We heard that verse I want to find. 1 second. Last time when we were reading, this verse came, so I was not sure whether this was the verse or another one, which Rupa Goswami gave as first verse there in Vaidhi Bhakti. So I checked, because Parikshit Maharaj asked Shukadev Goswami, I am about to die, so what is my duty? So Shukadev Goswami answered him, it is your duty to, first he answered him in 2nd Canto, 1st chapter, verse number 5, Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari Shrotavya Kirtitabhyascha Smartavyasche Cha Tabhayam. O descendant of King Bharata, one who desires to be free from all miseries must hear about, glorify, and also remember the personality of Godhead, who is the super soul, the controller and the savior from all miseries. So this is 2nd Canto, 1st chapter, 5th verse. This is immediate reply of Shukadev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. It is your duty. Shrotabhya, kirtitabhyo, smartabhyo. That means it must be done. It is your duty. So this was the verse which Rupa Goswami, this is the verse which Rupa Goswami gave in Vaidhi Bhakti. And another from Padma Puran, Smartabhyo Vishnur Satatam Vismartabhyo Jatuchit. It must be done. It is duty to always remember Krishna and never to forget him. This is the rule. So if someone does not have natural love for Krishna, he is not feeling that sweet, in that eternal, sweet, delightful relation. So out of natural greed, desire, and also taste, he is serving Krishna like the Brajavasis. If someone does not have that, then he has to be regulated by Shastra and bona fide Guru to become inspired to worship Krishna. That is Vaidhi Bhakti, rules and regulations. These things you have to do, they are for the satisfaction of Krishna. These things you should not do, they are offenses, they are anarthas, these things you should not do. So when one does this devotional practice on this under the rules and regulations of Shastra and Guru, that is called Vaidhi Bhakti. So when one will then purify his heart and that natural devotion will awaken, it will be spontaneous, then he can enter into Raganuga. That is why you will find first 9 cantos up to Krishna Lila, up to Vrindavan, everything is about this. That Supreme Lord is Sarvatma, Atma of all. He is Supreme Lord, we are His eternal servants, we should worship Him. If we do not, then we are bound in this samsara, suffering, all these things. So this is this platform. But when that relationship is awakened in purified heart and one gets some special attraction for some type of service which some Brajavasi is doing, and he has greed for that and natural liking, then he can enter into Raganuga. practice. So that was the verse, but then we heard Shukadev Goswami was speaking that first chapter and second chapter also about how to meditate on Virat Rupa and how to meditate on Paramatma, all this. So at the end of this second chapter, he gave one verse which is, I said that time, same point is there. Although it is different verse, but same point. To repeat again, same point. Tasmat sarvatmana rajan harih sarvatra sarvada shrotabhya kirtitabhyascha smartabhyo bhagavan nrinam. Same point. O king, it is therefore essential that every human being hear about, glorify, and remember the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, always and everywhere. Here again this word is used, Sarvatman. He is the so Atma of everyone. He is Supreme Lord. Then we also heard that many people are having many desires. So Shastra also says, if you want progeny, you have to worship this. If you want money, you worship this demigod, that. Demigods. If you want marriage, if you want to be beautiful, if you want to have a large stock of grains, all this we heard. And then this verse came, a person who has broader intelligence, whether he be full of all material desire, without any material desire, or desiring liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the personality of Godhead. Because that is broader intelligence, knowing that He is Supreme Lord, He is actually giving everything. Demigods, they cannot give independently. Krishna is giving through them. But it is better to directly worship Krishna. That is more advanced intelligence. So one who has such intelligence, he should worship Supreme Personality of Godhead. This we heard. And we also heard, this is very important point, all the different kinds of worshippers of multi-demigods can attain the highest perfectional benediction, which is spontaneous attraction unflinchingly fixed upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by the association of the pure devotee of the Lord. Maybe I did not yet read this. Sanskrit I did not yet read, I think. Etavan eva yajatam iha nishreya sodaya bhagavati achalo bhavo yad bhagavata sangata. All the different kinds of worshippers of multi-demigods can attain the highest perfectional benediction, which is spontaneous attraction, unflinchingly fixed upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by the association of the pure devotee of the Lord. Bhagavata Sangata. Bhakta Bhagavat. Because he himself, pure devotee, is fully engaged in the service of Krishna and he is tasting that. So if we come in contact with him, then that mood he is giving, and it is awakening our dormant devotion for Krishna. And that is highest perfectional benediction. Is pure devotion to Krishna, spontaneous attraction, unflinchingly fixed upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is possible only by satsanga, sadhu sanga. Sadhu sanga, sarva shastra. Koi labho matra sadhu sanga sarva siddhi hoy. Even a moment's association with pure devotee can give you all perfection, because you get a clue. And when you do that, when you execute his instruction, then you get that perfection. Jnanam yat aprati nivrita gunormi chakram atma prasada utayatra guneshu asanga kaivalya samatapata stvata bhakti yoga ko nirvrito harikatasu ratim na kuryat. Transcendental knowledge in relation with the Supreme Lord Hari is knowledge resulting in the complete suspension of the waves of whirlpools of the material modes. You will go beyond Triguna, because that is transcendental devotion to Krishna. Such knowledge is self-satisfying. It will satisfy the self, real self. As we heard some days back, even if one will get those heavenly pleasures, still he will not be satisfied. That will still not touch the self. That is all external and temporary. Only devotion to Krishna is eternal, and that can satisfy the self, real self. Nothing else. Due to its being free from material attachment and being transcendental, it is approved by authorities. Who could fail to be attracted? That is Diksha. You have to get divine knowledge from bona fide Guru, pure devotee. Then that's Sambandha Gyan, knowledge of your relationship with Krishna, and what is your duty in relation to him, and what is the ultimate goal to be achieved, this Sambandha Abhidaya Prayojana. If one receives this knowledge, then resultant action is Ksha, that all sinful activities and reactions, they will be destroyed. Because you will be positively, properly engaged, so automatically all those other activities will cease and no more reaction will be there. It is stated if in Shastra, if someone will get Diksha, he will be rescued from karma. That is true. But it is not only like you will take initiation and then Diksha is complete. Hearing mantra, getting instruction, no. It means how much you will accept that divine knowledge practically. Up to that extent, your karma is destroyed. And when you will be fully surrendered, fully accepted the divine knowledge, 100% engaged in the service of Krishna, then 100% karma, means in the form of activities or reactions to those activities, will be removed. But it is not only just by taking initiation, your all karma is destroyed. It is not like that. It is meant like someone may say, that person went to hospital. So we may say, he is cured. because it will happen. It is as good as being cured, we may say. Or like Haridas Thakur, when he saw Nityananda Prabhu wanting to rescue Jagai Madai, he was looking with compassion. So Haridas Thakur saw they are already rescued. Though they were at that time not rescued, but because Nityananda Prabhu made that decision, I will rescue them, Haridas Thakur said they are already rescued. Like that, by taking Diksha, one will destroy karma is in that sense. How much one will accept up to that instruction, up to that point, it will be destroyed. Not just like I will take initiation and then now I'm a liberated soul and I can do whatever I like. It is not like that. The divine knowledge initiation is initial state, and that is why it is called initiation. It is like enrolling in school. It's not you already got degree. It is beginning point. Mahaprabhu also told, Bhakti Lata Bij you get from bona fide guru, seed of devotion. At the time of imparting mantra, you get that seed, and then you have to cultivate. You have to do Shravan Kirtan. Mahaprabhu did not say just by getting initiation you are pure devotee, your karma destroyed, everything is done, so now okay. No. He said you have to get initiation, that is initial point. That encouragement to worship Krishna, then you have to do Shravan Kirtan and cut those weeds, means anarthas, you have to protect from offenses, then go on doing that bhajan, then gradually when that creeper will grow and it will pierce all universes, and then in Golo Vrindavan it will produce fruit. So it is a procedure. It is not initiation and done. No. So it will result in complete suspension of the waves and whirlpools of the material modes. It will remove karma because you will be engaged in bhakti. Shaunaka Uvach. Ityabhi vyahritam raja nishamya bharatarshabha kim anyat prishtavan bhuyo vayasakim rishim kavim. Shaunaka said, the son of Vyasadeva, Srila Shukadev Goswami, was a highly learned sage and was able to describe things in a poetic manner. What did Maharaj Parikshit again inquire from him after hearing all that he had said? Because Parikshit Maharaj inquired, I am about to die. What is my duty? Then Shukadeva Goswami replied, you have to worship Supreme Lord by hearing about him, chanting his glories, and remembering him. 2 times he said. First, immediately after replying, and then explaining, and then again confirming at the end. This is what you have to do. Etat Chushrushatam Vidvan Suta Norhasi Bhashitum Katha Harikato Darkah Satam Syuv Sadasi Dhruvam. Yes, already this word Harikatha was in previous verse. Ko nirvrito Harikatha suratim na kuryat. Harikatha, that is transcendental topics of the Lord. Here again. O learned Sutta Goswami, please continue to explain such topics to us, because we are all eager to hear. Besides that, topics which result in the discussion of the Lord Hari should certainly be discussed in the assembly of devotees. Harikatha udarkah. Automatically it will happen. When devotees will meet, Harikatha will start. Vaishnava Sangeetaman Anandito Anukan Sadahoi Krishna Parasanga. Narottam Thakur, he spoke all Siddhanta of Bhagavatam through songs. Vaishnava Sangeetamon Anandita, my mind is always happy in association of devotees, because Sada Hoy Krishna Prasanga, in their association all the time discussion about Krishna is going on, Krishna Prasanga. Devotees, like fish, cannot remain without water. Outside cannot remain. Like that, devotees cannot remain without speaking of Krishna or hearing about Krishna, because they have love for him. If we are so much engaged in other talks, it means we don't have love for Krishna. Those who have love for Krishna, they will only hear about Krishna and speak about Krishna, not any other topic. No politics, these, so many things. No. All the time about Krishna. And what is in relation to Krishna, if it is related, that is also they will speak. But otherwise, they will never deviate, because they have no taste for any other talk. So here they are saying we are all eager to hear. They are devotees. And devotees, they are eager to speak about Krishna. Our Gurudev told that even in this world you will see, although there is this parental love, there is some affection, but it is not fully pure. Still there is some interest behind, because still that is material relation based on ignorance. His son, his father, mother, like this. But there is some affection of parents to child. So our Gurudev told, when he was a boy, so one time he came from school and or college or something, then he said to father, today we had one exam. I think I will not do good. This is my thinking, Gurudev said. Then father was very much worried. He was fully worried. Then when the result came, Gurudev passed with excellence, means topmost that mark, and he got some degree or something. So his father was so happy that he spoke to everyone. You know, my son passed this exam or got the degree in this way, and he was speaking to one. And then he met another person, and again he spoke to him. Same thing. Again to another, like this. Same thing he would repeat again and again, with not feeling bored, or it is no taste like that. Every time he was getting taste to speak about his son, because love is there, affection is there. So all the time speaking, all the same topic, but he would get new taste. So what to speak then of those who have love for Krishna? They will never get tired of speaking about Krishna. And that taste will also never diminish. It is always increasing. So one of the symptoms of real devotee is, you will find Kapil Bhagavan said to Devahuti, he is always speaking Harikatha for Krishna's satisfaction. So by that symptom you can recognize. And for satisfaction of Krishna, not for money or for some other things. No, for him. Like fish cannot remain out of water, like that devotee cannot remain without speaking of Krishna. All the time he will speak. Either he will inside speak and remember all the time, like I saw with Srila Bhaktivedanta Puri Maharaj when he came to Slovenia. He was seated, then they told him, you speak. Then Harikatha came out. Then they told him, now it is late. Then that Harikatha entered into him, but was going on. I got that glimpse. Before it was going on, that constant remembrance of Krishna, then only he put out through mouth, and when they told him now it is late, then he just stopped like speaking, but it was going on, that transcendental flow of devotion, constantly there in that. So discussion of Lord Hari should certainly be discussed in assembly of devotees. But it is our misfortune. Our Gurudev told that some devotees, they were household devotees, they were doing Brajamandal Parikrama during the time of Parang Gurudev. So Sankirtan was going on and visiting places, and one time Parang Gurudev had to go for some work, so he came later and he came from behind. No one saw him, that he's coming from behind. And he saw some devotees in behind, little far from that kirtan. They were speaking worldly things, domestic this, politics, or they were speaking. And Parang Gurudev heard, because they did not know he's coming from behind. They were speaking these things. Then Parang Gurudev was very much disappointed. You came to Braja Dham and doing parikrama, still you cannot give up this. Speaking about worldly, still he was regretting very much. Then when they saw Parang Gurudev is there, then he will say, Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda. They start to chant after seeing him out of that fear. But they had no natural liking. We conditioned souls have a natural liking for speaking worldly topics, and we are spending a lot of time. How much it is necessary, no problem. It can go on whole night also, no problem. Harikatha, we are very particular to see the watch. No, you will stop already too late, or that we cannot hear. But if there is any worldly topic, then we are ready to spend whole night speaking that. So that is the misfortune. No liking to sing the glories of Krishna and to hear. But there are some devotees who got that pure devotion, so they cannot remain without speaking of Krishna all the time. We have to be regulated. That is why they say you have to hear Harikatha in the morning, and you have to hear Harikatha in the evening. So this, if you, at least if you are staying in the mat, this is the rule. All brahmacharis, they have to hear Harikatha 2 times, at least. That is practice. Or you have to chant 16 rounds at least. Or you have to do this, that is all Vaidhi, practice. But when someone purifies his heart by this practice, and he gets that taste, then constantly he will think of Krishna, speak about him all the time. That is the goal. Savai, so here the rishis, they are saying it should certainly be discussed. When devotees they meet, they should discuss about Krishna, not about worldly topics. Savai Bhagavato Raja Pandaveyo, if you see some devotee, due to some circumstance, he has to speak something is worldly for some, in relation to some, but he will try to make it very short. Quickly he will finish that topic and will go to chant or hear Harikatha or do some service of Krishna like this. But if we have so much taste, then we for worldly things, then we will go on speaking, even 2, 3 hours, 4 hours, no problem. We will speak. We will not feel anything, that time is wasted, and we will not feel that. But devotees feel they want to quickly finish other things and engage in Harikatha. Savai Bhagavato Raja Pandaveyo Maharata Bala Krira Nakai Kriran Krishna Kriram Ya Adade. That is why once Gurudev, to instruct me by his own example, Gurudev is always remembering Krishna, always serving in Lila as a maidservant of Radharani, all the time doing. But in order to teach me by example, he once told me in Delhi, I have to hear Harikatha 2 times in a day. That is, means I need this. Otherwise, my mind and all these, I'm thinking other things. So, at least 2 times in a day, I must hear Harikatha. Like as my Gurudev, Param Gurudev instructed me when I came to join the institution. So at least 2 times, because during the time of Param Gurudev, there was a rule for 3 times Harikatha, noon time also, but that noon time was not always possible for all because of different services outside or puja or like this. So that was more optional, but there was 3 times Harikatha. So that is why Gurudev told, in the mood of like a disciple to teach me by example, he said, it is necessary for me to hear Harikatha 2 times in a day. Then I understood Gurudev wants to tell me that I have to hear Harikatha 2 times a day. Otherwise, my mind will go to think other worldly topics all the time. And speaking, Maharaj Parikshit, the grandson of the Pandavas, was from his very childhood a great devotee of the Lord. Even while playing with dolls, he used to worship Lord Krishna by imitating the worship of the family deity. You see, this is the point. They cannot remain without connection with Krishna. Impossible for them. Whatever they will do at all time, everything they will connect with Krishna, his service. Vayasakischa Bhagavan Vasudeva Parayana Urugaya Gunodara Satam Surhi Samagame. Shukadev Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, was also full in transcendental knowledge and was a great devotee of Lord Krishna, son of Vasudeva. Vasudeva Parayana, fully surrendered to Vasudeva Krishna, Shukadeva Goswami. So there must have been discussion of Lord Krishna, who is glorified by great philosophers and in the company of great devotees. Here in commentary, Simon sharing, the word Satam is very important in this verse. Sata means the pure devotees who have no other desire than to serve the Lord. Only in the association of such devotees are the transcendental glories of Lord Krishna properly discussed. It is said by the Lord that his topics are all full of spiritual significance, and once one properly hears about him in the association of the Satam, means pure devotees, certainly one senses the great potency, and so automatically attains to the devotional stage of life. Ayur harati vaipungsham udyan astam cha yan aso tasyarte yat kshano nita uttama shloka vartaya. Both by rising and by setting, the sun decreases the duration of life of everyone, except one who utilizes the time by discussing topics of the all-good personality of Godhead. Now one may then think, okay, if I will always hear Harikatha, then I will never die. Yes, you will never die in the sense you will realize that you, in your real self, you never die. That is immortality. Everyone has to give up this material body in due course of time. But they will not die, those who realized their eternal self. So all those who are not hearing Harikatha, sun by setting and rising, they are losing their life. It will decrease their life day by day. But those who will hear Harikatha, they are not wasting time, they are not losing time. They will realize their real self more and more, and they will never die. Their life is not diminished. Not wasted. Taravah kim na jivanti, bastrah kim na shvasantyuta, na kadanti na mehanti kim grame pashavo pare. Do the trees not live? Do the bellows of the blacksmith not breathe? All around us, do the beasts not eat and discharge semen? Shva vid varahostra kareih, samstutah purushah pashu, nayat karna pato peto, jatu nama gada graja. Men who are like dogs, hogs, camels, and asses praise those men who never listen to the transcendental pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna, the deliverer from evils. Means those who are not human, they're human, but their consciousness is not human. Human one becomes when he accepts dharma. That is the difference between human and all other species. Human being can accept dharma, and dharma means to serve Supreme Lord. So one who will not serve Supreme Lord, he is like dog, hogs, like these, they will praise others who are also like dog, hogs in consciousness. They will glorify each other. But devotee will not see them as very wise persons. They are wasting their time, spending all their energy for non-eternal things which will perish. And they will get suffering and no bliss. So why there is no quality in them which can be praised, because they have no quality. They are foolish. They are only spending time uselessly, wasting life by not worshipping Supreme Lord. So how devotees will praise them? But those who are materialists, they will praise other materialists. Oh, he got so much money, he got such position, he's very good, like this. Here Sai Maharaj tells in commentary, the general mass of people, unless they are trained systematically for a higher standard of life in spiritual values, that is dharma, are no better than animals. You will find in commentary, Sai Maharaj very nicely, clearly is explaining all truth. Bile bato rukrama vikraman ye nashrinvata karna pute narasya jihvasati dardurikeva suta na chopagaya tyurugaya gata. One who has not listened to the messages about the prowess and marvelous acts of the personality of Godhead, and has not sung or chanted loudly the worthy songs about the Lord, is to be considered to possess ear holes like the holes of snakes, and a tongue like the tongue of a frog. It's useless. Why to keep ears if you don't hear about Krishna? Why keep tongue if you don't speak about Krishna? It's wasted, useless. Bharah parampata kirita jushtam apyutamangam namen mukundam shavo karo no kurute saparyam harer lasat kanchana kankanova. The upper portion of the body, though crowned with a silk turban, is only a heavy burden. If not bowed down before the personality of Godhead, who can award mukti, freedom from this man, which is the upper portion of body, not directly said. It means head. Though crowned with a silk turban, is burden only on this body. If it is not bowing down to Supreme Lord. See how nicely it is described. It is actually true. It is burden only. And the hands, though decorated with glittering bangles, are like those of a dead man, if not engaged in the service of the personality of Godhead Hari. Useless. Barhaite te nayane naranam lingani Vishnurna nirikshatoye pado nrinam tau druma janma bhajo kshetrani nanu vrajato harer yo. The eyes which do not look at the symbolic representations of the personality of Godhead Vishnu, the deity form, are like those printed on the plums of the peacock. You will find there are eyes, but they cannot see. So, and the legs which do not move to the holy places where the Lord is remembered, or like not doing parikrama of Supreme Lord. Those legs are considered to be like three trunks. Jivan chavo bhagavatangri renum najatu martyo bilabheta yastu Shri Vishnu padya manujas tulasya shvasan chavo yas tu naveda gandham. The person who has not at any time received the dust of the feet of the Lord's pure devotee upon his head is certainly a dead body. And the person who has never experienced the aroma of the tulsi leaves from the lotus feet of the Lord is also a dead body, although breathing. Like that blacksmith dead thing. That is also breathing, but it is dead thing. Like someone is breathing, but he's not alive if he's not living for Krishna. Tat ashma saram hridayam batedam yat grihyamaner harinama dheyeh na vikriyetata yada vikaro netre jalam gatra ruheshu harsha. Certainly that heart is still framed, iron, that steel frame, which, in spite of one's chanting the holy name of the Lord with concentration, does not change. When ecstasy takes place, tears fill the eyes and the hair stand on end. Means there is a presence of offenses. This verse is proof. If someone is chanting Harinam and all these ecstasies are not coming and his heart is not changed, it means there is a presence of offenses. They have to be rectified. Aparada pole mama chitto belo bajra sama tu aname nalo bibikar hotasha hoye hori tavanama ucha kori boro dukhe daki bar bar. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, due to a result of my offenses, when I'm chanting your name, there is no change in my heart. So in desperation, I'm calling to you, Supreme Lord, again and again. Hotasha huye hori, tavanama ucha kori. Loudly I'm calling you. Please grace me. Forgive my offense. Please grace me. So, still framed heart. Also, in previous verse here, it is one who did not accept the dust from the lotus feet of pure devotee on his head is like a dead body. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, when his students in Mayapur came, and they were not, some forgot to put tilak on their forehead. Mahaprabhu sent them back to home. He said, This body, which is not decorated with tilak, is like crematorium. It is inauspicious to see. But if someone is having tilak, it is good for him and it is auspicious for all others who will see him. So Mahaprabhu would not want to teach his student if he forgot to put tilak. You will find there is a big commentary in Chaitanya Bhagavat about this tilak. So that is beginning that practice, basic practice. To wear tulsi mala, it is necessary to wear tilak and to chant Harinam. That is basic for every devotee. Andra Mahaprabhu said the crematorium. Atha videhi angamanonukulam prabhasha se bhagavata pradana yat aha vayasakir atmavidya visharado nripatim sadhu prishta. O Sutta Goswami, your words are pleasing to our minds. Please therefore explain this to us as it was spoken by the great devotee Shukadev Goswami, who is very expert in transcendental knowledge and who spoke to Maharaj Parikshit upon being asked. This is the end of this third chapter in second canto. Tomorrow we'll start chapter 4. But due to circumstances in Western countries, they said that if you have certain like job or like something like this and there may be some difficulty, then Vaishnavas, they say you can put less Gopi Chandan. When you are doing tilak and you have to put that mantra, Gurudev taught, you can put less Gopi Chandan, so it is like not visible to others. But Krishna knows that you are wearing tilak. Having tilak is for the satisfaction of Krishna. That is devotional practice. It is not to show off, I am a devotee, or to be proud, you see how big devotee I am like that. No. To put tilak is devotional service to Krishna. He is pleased and it is necessary for every devotee. So if you put little Gopi Chandan, if there is some difficulty which would put obstacle to your service of Krishna, then you can put little Gopi Chandan, or if you have no Gopi Chandan, then at least with that invoke the Ganga water, you invoke with that mantra, Ganga, Chajam, all holy rivers. With that you have to do tilak and put mantra. 12 tilaks. It is necessary for all devotees. It is for the service of Krishna, not to show to others. So that is necessary. It is basic, like wearing tulsi. And also Jamaraj, he told to his servants, Yamadutas, you should not approach that person who is wearing tulsi and tilak. Because they are devotees. Why they are wearing tulsi and tilak? Because they are devotees of Krishna. They are having for the satisfaction of Krishna, for the service of Krishna. So tomorrow we will hear further.